So I want to say that this space is really a research space about the power of choosing. And we will focusing on questions and also on experiments so that we really get experience in all our bodies. And then after this discovering together, we want to collect what we found out and our distinctions, our insights. Maybe there are more questions than before, and also we will collect them. And maybe this is just the first step for a research, and then we can deepen the context further. And so the question is, what do you bring? So what questions do you bring into the space? And we also have some questions we want to bring in.
Yes, I start. I have two questions that cook inside of me at the moment, and there are several sub-questions related to that.
Yes.
And the first thing is like, what do I want? What is really important for me? I noticed that I doubt myself often about the things. And when there are small things, I try them out and then I see after what results do I create. But I have like these big things in life, like writing a book or becoming a filmmaker. And I notice I sabotage myself because I don't fully commit to it. I don't create this ongoing practice of doing again, and because it's also like that, it's not yeah, I feel mostly a lot of fear doing this. It's not coming from when I start doing it, it's not something that I naturally do. Like writing is something out of my box, and this is why I also not commit. And for me, it's really the thing, is something missing? Like, is this, I have doubts, like, can I really trust myself on this? Is this unconscious purpose is mixed in that I want to do this? And and yeah, where does this wanting come from? And another thing is that I have a lot of wantings at the same time, and I'm notice also when it does not work somehow to do all of this at the same time. I overwhelm myself easily with all of this, and then really deciding to commit to something, to one of these things first, and have like really ongoing practice. How can I kill the other possibilities? Like, how can I make it happen that the things are for later, or maybe, yeah, not now. This is also something alive in me.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah, thank you, Leonard.
Thank you, Leonard.
Yeah, so what comes in my mind, and we will do something with this, is that we really have different aspects in us. They are involved in our choosing, and sometimes they are not agree, or they have different choices or different purposes. And that's interesting to get more clarity about that. Yeah, thank you for your questions. And hello and welcome, Wout. Nice that you could make it.
Hello, Wout.
Hello, Bina, Rina, and everybody. Maren, Eric, Leonard.
Okay. So, are there more questions or, yeah, stuff for our research?
Would you like me to? Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
not sure.
asking, Wout, we are asking if you have any questions, to collect some questions about this topic of choosing.
Yeah, I I I I propose to just check in with what's alive for me about this topic. I don't know if I can formulate in a clear question yet. And does that work? Is that okay? Any resistance to that?
So I would say make a try, and then you have a team, and we maybe distillate a question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this, I don't know. This topic of deciding has been really big in my life so far, and it's about this fear of this power of cutting off. Like really, it's a deciding. It's the Latin word is cutting off, I think, and it's just that feeling of cutting off something is so scary for me that I barely dare to really make choices when it comes to the really important things, like the pillars in my life, like where am I going to live? I've been seeking for 3 or 4 or 5 or more years, like to be able to make the decision, where am I going to live for at least 6 months? And so I keep being this traveling nomad, and I never really set any roots because I have this fear of deciding for something so fundamental in my life. And I want to figure out what it needs, what is really going on there, what it needs, so I can ground my being more on this earth. So yeah, and it shows up. Yeah, I mean, it's really, really fundamental thing for me. And yeah,
Yeah.
there's more to say about all that, but I think this is really the crux of it, the essence of it. So
Yeah. So what I get is the question: how do I make choices with the fear of choosing, or the fear to make the wrong decision, or the consequences of the
yes, somehow I put a lot of weight on these decisions and a lot of pressure. So also when it comes to, oh, what will I do now for my mission or my purpose or my work, and then everything just keeps being in the air and keeps being open because I never really get to, this is it for now, for this amount of time. Or really, I don't know how it goes to decide what are good strategies to decide so that I can do it in a comfortable way and not freak out. And there's a difference saying I will do this work for 20 years or I will do this for a month and give myself the time to try it. So I think I would love to learn how it goes, that I will be able to make decisions and not just freak out and never even touch the possibility of even making one of these big decisions. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Thank you. And because you came later in, so we want to focus on questions and also experiments. And the questions we are bringing in about how is really the choosing process? What's the inner process? And what's going on when we are choosing, so that we get more clarity about, what's going on there and how are we choosing. So maybe in the end we have more clarity, or we can also go with our question, so that this is kind of involved in this main topic of how it goes, this kind of inner process. Yeah.
Yeah, and what I see is that this space is also a space of inner research. So you out and everybody will start to look at this moment that you choose. So go into the details like a microscope when this inner research, when you are choosing and what is going on and which part of you, like really observing the details. And yes, this is the space, and this is a space for everybody. Like also me and Sabine, we are very selfish because we are creating this Worktalk also for us to keep researching
very
about
interested.
it. Yes.
Thank you. And
thank you for naming it out. And I have something a little bit watching from the other side. How could I think to make a decision, it will be easy. What I'm fearing of is what's the consequence of the fear. Did you name it out, Leonard? So I have to go, there are other things which I have to left. And so my question is how to make a decision and stay in the liquid state.
Yeah.
Would you say more what is causing the liquid state?
I for myself find that it's more about to stay in the liquid state, not to make it comfortable for me, really to run with my fear, and then I get more informations. Otherwise, I have the impulse to run over some kind of box. And if I stay in the liquid state, then I really get the impulses of the moment and not the impulses of a concept.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really this. Being in the liquid state means also not being in the box, not being numb. It's more really feeling the feelings in the moment, to get the informations in the moment. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's important.
And it seems also this you're choosing to stay there and not to do something else, but stay in the liquid state. So how can you keep choosing that, keep holding that choice, right? And not going to the box strategies or
I realized for myself that I am doing that thing now also, but in my past I really tried to make decisions with making die gewinnbringend. What's the English word for that?
Bringing a benefit or
bringing a benefit, or it's most efficient for myself, and that's comfortable. That's only comfortable. That's only to make myself to put myself in a box again.
Yes.
Yeah. My guess is that to hold a decision is something like choosing every moment again. I choose it again. I choose it again. And it's, we have to find it out. It's a guess.
Is this commitment what you're saying, holding a decision?
Could be. So I don't have the answer now, and I will find it out. And I'm looking forward to the experiments.
Yeah.
Leonard, I have something I heard from another woman last weekend, and she told me that she's in a relationship, and every 6 months she sits together with her husband, friend, I don't know, really, and they say if we want to make it further or not. And they live together, they have children together, and they make a negotiation or a sharing again and again and again.
Yeah.
Yes.
I really like that we don't have the answer, or we don't know what's right or wrong. And we get something.
What Leonard just said with the commitment, this is something what troubles me, because when I decide to make a commitment, then it is like I have to stay with this. There is something with right or wrong, and I want to be a person you can trust. I want to be a person other people can trust on my commitment, my decision. And when I change, this doesn't really fit in my box. So this belongs also what Marvin said. How can I stay with the decision, and do I have a possibility to change this decision again? Changing a decision also can send you in a liquid state then, yeah? Because for me it is like I decide and then I have to stay with this, and then I get like hard inside me and be strong, and I'm a strong woman, and I just keep this decision. And then just to let it go again and say, okay, I have the possibility to change. So this is also a kind of for me it is going into a liquid state again. So this is also a part. And I have another question also, because I sense that I make decisions from my head and from my gut, and there are differences between making decisions here in my mind and making decisions from my intuition. Yes. And what is the difference in my daily life now? And what do I do with insecurity? The insecurity is this fear I have when I don't know if it is right or wrong. And I have this control system about right or wrong when I make decisions. And I also sense that there's something in between this right or wrong. I often do not know if it is that or that. I do not know. And then just like Maren said, just to be with this and not knowing, go one step after the other. This is also a kind of field of experimentation I find myself in. And I use the word, I don't use the word decision, I use the word I am making experiments when I am like, when I do not know really. So this is how I work with decisions I am insecure with.
That's helpful. Yeah. And so I can't decide. I have so many ideas to say something to this, but I guess it's better to do the experiments, and then we can really have this experience, and then we speak from there. And I want to add something what this space not is, or we do not have the expectation that that we will find all the answers, or to all these questions. So we are totally fine if we go out with more questions than we have before, or than we have now.
Okay.
Okay.
Make experiments.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay. And what you shared, a lot of what you shared, I could see that choosing has a lot to do also with feeling, or it's like we have multiple identities and different ego states. And Erika, if you said, if I chose this, I have to stay there. And this I have to stay there is another identity, maybe, as the identity was you who choose the direction, or took the first choose. And so there could be more or different ego states or aspects of us involved in this choosing. And we do the first experiment, and it's about choosing and feelings, and we will lower our numbness bar, because we get informations from our feelings. As you said, Marin, if we are in the liquid state, or if I'm in the liquid state, then I feel, and then I have the information which is important in this moment for this person I am now. So, and we also refer to a decision that we have to make. I mean, currently or in the next days, think about a decision you have to take, or what do you have to choose? For example, do you have to respond to an invitation, or to buy something or not to buy, or yeah, to decide, should I stay or should I go? So take one decision you have to make now or in the next days, and we go with this decision. And then you know how to lower your numbness bar. So you energetically sense, where is your numbness bar now? And then you can use your arm to show it or to go there. And yeah, the next is to choose to lower the numbness bar, so that you yeah, that you sense, so there are feelings now. So you know how it goes. And we will go into breakout rooms, and you start again really to lower your numbness bar, and then you are with this decision you have to make. And you share with your partner what are the feelings about the choice you have to make? What are the feelings in this moment? And then you get the informations from your feelings. That's what we do in the first experiment now. And we will go into breakout rooms, and you have you have a partner. One partner starts, and then after, I don't know, after sharing, you switch the roles, and the other partner goes with this
Sabine,
experiment.
do we lower now our numbers bar together or in the breakout rooms?
So in the breakout rooms, and you just check, is your numbness bar low enough so that you can feel and that you can go with the experiment. So yeah, check yourself, and maybe you have to repeat it. Yeah, you have to do it again. Okay, and we will write you when the space ended, or when you have to come to an end.
How much time per person?
We have to make a choice about that now.
Yes, we have less time. 5 minutes each to yeah, but before, yeah, 5 minutes each, I would say. What do you think, Sabine?
I think 3 is enough.
Okay.
But it's a warm-up. It's a first experiment. Let's go with 5. So
yes. Okay.
great idea.
Okay. I will start lowering my
Marina, what is your decision you have to make, and what are you feeling about this?
Yeah, I have to make a decisions if I stop completely to collaborate to this company I've been working the last 12 years,
Mm.
and I'm gonna speak with the person, the boss.
Mm. And what do you feel?
I feel fear, so much fear about that. Yes. Like like I have there's a story that I only have one choice. That's the only way to survive, and
Yeah.
I'm narrowing this choice in that situation, like only this choice. I have only this, and this like completely scarcity
Mm-hmm.
about that.
Yeah.
And
Fear about that. Yeah.
yes, and I want to speak from my feelings about that.
Yeah. Go.
Yes, I feel. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you feel?
I feel angry also. I feel angry that I'm just, I have this story in my head. I'm just like choosing this with my head. I'm just choosing because I feel scared about not having other possibilities.
Yes. You feel
Uh,
and there's
yes.
anger. Can you say more about your anger?
Yeah, I feel angry because I want to open this, open to possibilities, and
Mm.
I feel fear of losing myself in these possibilities. So
Yeah.
can feel
Fear
also
to
the
lose
fear again.
yourself in this
When I feel
possibility.
the anger, I feel angry, and then I feel fear. Feel anger that I
Mm-hmm.
want to open, and then I get scared and I go back and I step back.
Yes.
Yeah. Is that time?
Yeah, there's 20 seconds left, and you could
Yeah.
write in the breakout
Yeah.
room. Thank you, Marina.
Thank you, Sabine.
So I choose a thing which is not so important as yours, but it's, yeah, I choose to go to an alumni meeting, alumni gathering. Yeah, to go there or not to go there
In this gathering.
in this gathering. Yeah. So
Mhm.
I start now.
Yeah, I'm putting also the time. Yes, go, Sabine. Yes. 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 Mhm. 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 Mhm.
Mm, yeah, but I sense this fear, and it's fear. It's more fear about another topic, because it has to do with my son, and my fear is that I cannot be here for him, or the fear is I don't know how to support him in this time. And
yeah, can you speak about I feel fear instead of saying the fear is I feel fear?
yes, thank you. I feel fear. I feel fear that I cannot see, I cannot find, I cannot sense how to support him. What's helpful? What's the what's the good what's the good decision, or how to go in contact so that he feels really supported, and not it's not this I do it for you, or I decide for you, or yeah. And what comes in, it's I feel fear about a decision we made before, so, and we have to stay. Do we have to stay there? Do we have to stick with this decision? And it's so I feel fear because it's not clear, or I feel fear about the consequences. I feel fear that I don't know the consequences. I feel fear that maybe that wasn't failure. And there's also angry. I'm angry about I'm angry that we had to decide this. I'm angry about that the situation was like this. I'm angry about the circumstances.
Yeah, stay with your feelings in the moment, this moment.
And there's also joy, because so it was like a wake up, and we had to choose, and it was so clear to see there are many other options, and we are more in contact with him. We have more awareness about him, and or we are so yeah, we are more awake. Yeah, I feel also joy about that. And I feel sad. I feel sad about that he had this huge break, and that he has to handle with this. It's not easy for him, and I know that he can grow, he can learn something. But I'm sad. It's really it's a big mess. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, and there's joy again that we can grow together. It's really learning from each other. Yeah, it's also a choice.
Yes.
And the possibility to learn from each other. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Wow.
So it was a good choice. 5 minutes.
Yes.
Thank you, Marina.
Thank you. I think you are all muted because there is something automatically that makes you muted. So please unmute yourself. Thank you.
Okay. It
Yes.
seems that we lost Wout. Who was in the space with Wout?
Me.
Have you an information about that? Do you? No. Okay. Great. So Wout, you are muted. That's yeah, thank you. Automatically after coming back. Yeah, welcome back. So we have time and space to share about this experiment.
Yes, I found out that I make decisions dependent from other people, how other people feel with it, or what other people told me, what is their opinion, that I also make decisions. And I really felt sad ignoring my own voice and just hearing about what other people could think or say, or what is their opinion. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Erica,
Thank you.
what are you feeling right now? Yeah.
And there was so much anger as well, because
And can you speak from saying I feel angry about? I feel angry.
I feel angry about that that I have these sensations inside me. Yes, that I still sometimes follow these routes of making decisions depending on other people. That makes me angry, feeling angry. Yes. Yeah. And it's, yes, both inside me, sadness and anger.
Yeah. Thank you. And what I hear is that there's a kind of, I have to choose. It relates to what other people think, and also this sounds like a choice that you put it together. Do you know what I mean?
What do you mean with putting together? I didn't get that.
It's like I have to choose from with the opinion from others. It seems to be also a choice or a decision that you made unconsciously before.
Yes, okay, so yes, now I got it. Yeah.
And you can decide something different in every moment.
Yes, that relaxes me.
Yeah, and what I bring from what you said, Erica, from my research is that it's similar to mine, which is the choice I'm making now connected to something, a no decision. So my old decision is to choose this forever, for example. So I took this old decision and then I keep choosing from like a timeline, and I keep choosing from that point, the reference point of that old decision.
Yeah.
It becomes the reference point from me, for example. Yeah, sorry, Sabine.
No, it's fine. I want to add that if you get clarity about that, and then you can take the responsibility for this choice, for this old choice. And I guess this is an important step to take the responsibility. I chose that.
I've chosen.
It's still working. So and it's my responsibility that I have this results or that I act like this.
Mhm. Yeah. Yes, it's the connection between choosing and taking responsibility for that.
For my choosing. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And something that I rediscover is also about the fear, because there are two, the unconscious fear that keeps me choosing to stay where I am in this prison of the box. And there's the conscious fear that gives me completely other kind of informations that, so it's completely like two worlds, the unconscious fear and the conscious fear. So the conscious fear for me, I could sense like the conscious fear was giving me completely other informations, and I navigate into these two maps. I was in two maps, like the old map of fear. I was completely in this prison of having one choice, only one possibility, only one choice, or the unconscious fear of having too many possibilities and being lost. So in this unconscious fear, and then the conscious fear, I was actually, I didn't navigate so much in that part, but I could sense there was this like clarity from this, from something that I cannot speak with words about. It's not a fantasy word, it's a sensation of my body about this choice. And I want to keep researching about this sensation.
Yeah, thank you.
I'd like to add something because I ended up in a similar place, Marina. I was feeling a lot of feelings, sort of mixed, and I went through the layers, and then I met this fear of, okay, really, what if I don't know what the choice is? And then I feel this fear of not knowing, and I feel it through and through. And then comes this place where I'm okay with not knowing, and then comes a place that sort of is okay with not knowing, and that is more a sensing level of reality that kind of knows actually. And then for me a layer still came up about that, like, can I trust that thing that knows, sort of? And for me it's my heart. So, and then I felt sad that, oh, actually I just do not trust my heart and it really cares about me. So that is for me sort of the next step in this process. Yeah, I wanted to add that.
In Wout, I have a question for you. What do you mean with knowing? Is it in the mental body, or do you mean that you're getting conscious?
Yeah, it's in the mental body. It's this, I want to know what is right, and I want to know what is the good or the best. So this kind of mental knowing. And so when the mind is no other option than to give it up or let it go, then this other realm opens, where it's like, this is a sensing realm. And from that is a different navigation, sort of. With I could kind of sense the possibilities, sort of. I think, relates to what Marina said, like, there's all those possibilities, and I can then just sense into it more.
I remember this drawing that we made, Sabine, about the V, because there was the V of the, I don't remember about the other V that we create for the choosing, is I have to choose and I don't care. So it seems that
the extreme parts.
The extreme parts. And
yeah.
So it seems that there's a battle happening in you, Walt, when you're speaking, like, I have to choose, and then I'm okay with unknown. Then you don't trust the unknown, and then you trust them. Is that something like that?
it's similar. And what I do when I go to I don't care is like I want the divine to tell me, or I want a higher something power to tell me. And it's a way of letting my responsibility go. So please tell me, but it's similar. So that would be my fee.
Yeah. Yeah. So we got this picture, and it's like a ping pong between the tops here. So it goes back and forth. And what's helpful is really kind of going into the unknown and going to the point in the middle, and it's kind of relaxation, and there you are connected with your heart. And what you said was also, my heart knows, or something like this, and I'm not aware of it, or I don't follow what my heart is saying. So yeah, maybe the picture is helpful. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to share. I did this experiment not the first time, and what I get from using my feelings for the choosing process, I get a lot of more possibilities for myself by really getting clear what is really behind that. And it's interesting because every time I do this, I start with my fears. It's always like starting with fears, like what am I scared about? And there comes the most things comes from there. And then sometimes, so in this process, jumped joy inside when it's somehow I ask my fear, and then from this fear, sometimes immediately I get an impulse that there is something else possible than my box can think of. Like, and then I felt joy, like, it's not only like black and white, there's something in between, then I felt joy. And with the sadness, I somehow felt like what is really missing from me? Gives me also clue about what I want. It's not only it's really like I'm missing something, and I get like more clear that one of these fears has more weight for me, like fear of missing out the intimacy with the person. It has more weight for me than fear of not meeting my box requirements or whatever. So I could really sense with the sadness that there's something inside of me that's really important. And interestingly is that I'm not so aware, like my anger mostly when I do this experiment, it's not showing up. It's like it's not happening. Like I feel angry that something is not working like this. I don't know what's happening, that the anger does not come naturally in this process. The thing that I notice.
Yeah, thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Ronald. Yeah, I think we'll maybe the anger will come in other experiments. I could be, it could be, or not. But it could be an experiment for you to check where is the anger when you're choosing. Like maybe it's hidden.
Yeah, and how to use my conscious anger to choose. Yeah. To make a choice. Yeah.
I realized my anger in the exercise, and it is more it was more about an unconscious anger and about the resentments I have, and what triggers me in this situation is if I'm in situations that are more not to, I have a problem which I can choose. If I have the feeling I am in a dilemma, so there's a yes, and there's a no and a no. So and then I have to choose, and I don't want to choose something of that. And I have the idea that the V you spoke about, it's not about this way, it's more about that way.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm at the point I'm starting with feeling, I'm knowing that I can make this way or that way, and I could stick there, or I could let it go and really fall into the sea of possibilities instead of that, or in this. So in my so in the questions I had it's about strike. I don't know the English word for that. Does somebody know it? The buses for the school doesn't drive the next week. The whole next week doesn't drive, and I live on the countryside, so I get angry about it because then I have to drive my children to school, and that's so much unnecessary. And if I'm really going with that, and then I realize how sad I am. I'm sad about the situation, and I'm sad about the village, and I'm sad about the people who are making this strike. And that's something totally different. It's like that there is on the decision, there's something like an energetic magnet which holds me in one direction. And if I would let go this foreign magnet go away, then I have the possibility. Yeah, I have the possibility to feel.
Yeah. Thank you, Maren.
It comes now an add-on from my sharing. I asked my anger, what is the anger about this process? And it's really subtle and clear, but like I'm bigger than my box spheres. I can handle and navigate this really clear that I don't need to be like in prison of these box spheres.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't need to be in the prison of the box spheres.
Yeah.
Yes.
Please write it down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Maren, and I see something about this sadness that you brought that could give you or more information about what you can choose. Like, would you let your sadness, like, have a space to let your sadness speak more? Yeah.
Yes, and this is really about being liquid, and really to give all possibilities a possibility in the situation. So, and all participants which are acting with that, and not only watching on my part and on my small problems.
Yes.
Yes.
I guess so. It comes in my mind the sentence that happiness comes from choosing what is. So then it's like a relaxation, and the space is wider, and there are much more possibilities. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. I have just a small sharing that I started with a choice, and then I realized this choice is related to another choice I made before, and this was really the bigger thing, or there was more to get and to feel and to get more informations. And it was a good entrance, the first small choice or decision to get more clarity about what's behind. Yeah. Was my result. Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. I would say to go to the experiment 2. Would you wanna go? So the second experiment is really to start to see the parts, all the parts that are choosing, all your parts, and start to speak from that, explore about who is choosing that thing, and then there will be a second phase of this experiment. So one thing that right now that I ask you, all of you, to pick one object without no reason. Just choose something. It could be close to you, or and pick this object and come to the screen again. Or if it's close to the screen, you can just pick your.
Marina, could you pick the button and make me the host?
Oh, yes. Yes, I will do.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Do you have your object with you? Okay, great. So in breakout rooms, we will explore and speak about this, like why you choose this object, and you are keeping this object with you right now. So there's you chose in the past, and what you have, it's what you chose in the past. So if you have right now this object, is because you chose in the past. And then you start to explore why you chose that, and speak from your gremlin, from your box, from your child ego state, from all the ego states, your adult ego states. And then probably feelings will start to come. And then you can speak from the feelings, that how you feel about the choice, how you feel about choosing this object. Okay.
Are there any questions?
Yeah, are there any questions?
Yeah, how much time? Again, I want to like seize the bites for my ego states.
Yeah. So we said 5 minutes each person.
Yeah.
Do we want to stay with this, or?
Yeah, Sabina, I put we imagine to do the first part speaking from the ego states, and then a second part speaking from the feelings. What do you think of doing this in the same row, everything?
Yeah. So you mean one person starts to speak about the parts who are choosing, and then after that speaking about the feelings, how you feel about the choice, and really also meet every of the 4 feelings. Yeah.
Yeah, and do you need any example or something for that, or just jump it? Yes. Okay. Let's jump.
Great. I will just write down when it's time to change.
Okay.
So just so that I'm clear, we go with the ego states for 5 minutes, and then I'll have another 5 minutes where I say how I feel about the choice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? Okay.
Sounds like a different experiment than before.
Yeah.
Okay, you got it, or are there more questions? So I guess you will have a partner, and then you can have an exchange and get clear about it. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it true, Erika?
What?
That's okay? You said it's okay. And I ask you, is it true?
I don't feel that comfortable. I want to change my I'm so I feel so hot and I want to change my clothes because I'm sweating that so much.
Yeah, so is this your choice now?
Yes, I would like to get up and change my clothes. It takes a couple of seconds, maybe half a minute or something. Yeah, I'll do it now.
Okay.
Go. Okay, I open the spaces and then you can go there. Okay, I can start and
I'll put the time. I'll put
so
3 minutes.
I started the time.
Okay,
So I'm
great.
prepared. Okay, I took this one. And so one part what chooses this is my, I would say, child ego state, because I really love the colors, and I'm really connected with this. I have this for more than 30 years. it's yeah, it's part of my history, kind of. And there's also a gremlin part, like I and it's I make it easy, so it's just the next thing, and I don't have to think about, or I don't make a fuss about this. And then there's I would say the parent ego state, and it's kind of, yeah, you have to take this because this makes sense. You can talk about this a lot, or it seems to be right, and it has kind of follow the rules to take this. That's interesting. And
I want to just ask you something about why you're choosing to keep it also, not even to choosing right now, but
yeah, that's cool. Yeah, the first thing is I have to keep it because, you mean now keep it?
yeah. Why are you choosing to keep it? I mean, keep it, I mean to have in your house, to have that. You could have give to someone else, or
yeah, so I have this connection to my past, or I have this memory. It's also a memory for me, and it reminds me on my times there in another town and in this other life situation, and it's also this, it's quite, it's kind of seldom, or you will not find this anywhere, because it's, yeah, it's unique. It's very unique. And yeah, and yeah, and also part of my it's also a part of my being, because I bought this really to create my space, to make it nice around me, where I lived. And it was really an ugly house and an ugly chamber, but I tried to make it nice, and it was, yeah, it's part of my being to make spaces nice, or yeah, to have beauty in it, and to feel good in the spaces. It's also part of my being. Yeah, to decorate. Yeah, to find something what has beauty. Yeah. Let me see if there's something more. Yeah, Gremlin and Box, that's really related or narrow. It's also this, I cannot give it away, or I cannot put it away. It's this, what I have. It's it's not easy to let go of things. Yeah. Okay, my feelings about that choice. First, I feel joy. I really like the shape. I like the colors, and I had this experience last weekend, and it was the experiment to see in a different way, and then I could sense that this is not only an object. I could sense that that's energy, and it's moving, and it's alive, and it was really touching. So I feel joy to have this here and to be remembered on this experience. And I feel really fear that so there was another one, a bigger one, the kind of the mummy, and it fell down, and then it broke in many pieces, and I feel fear that that could happen also with him, with her, I don't know. And yeah, I feel a little bit anger because there are some spots on this, and it looks like, yeah, a bit shabby on this side. And I really like if things are, yeah, quite perfect, or yeah, without I don't know the word Marke in German. And sadness. Sadness about my joy. Yeah, the sadness is really, there is a crystal. It's a gift from a friend of mine, and the sadness is about I choose this one, and I couldn't, at the same time I couldn't choose the crystal. And yeah, that's, I feel sad about that one choice or decision kind of excluded all the other choices. Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Hmm.
I guess.
Thank you, Sabine. Yes.
Thank
So
you.
I chose this, how do you say, Swiss
Knife, yeah.
Swiss knife.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's incredible because I chose with no reason, But actually, I like that I chose that.
Mm-hmm.
There's also my box saying, wow, I like to have a Swiss knife because I want to be I want to be an adventurer, adventurous person.
Mm-hmm.
So it reminds me that this is my passion. I'm longing for adventures in my life.
Mm.
I took this in Cape Verde, and I used a lot, like to cut the sugar cane. There are a lot of sand also from Cape Verde. And my gremlin chose this Swiss knife because I want to take revenge of men.
Mm.
I want to be powerful like them. I remember when I was a child that I don't remember to see women with Swiss knives, and I remember to see men holding that. So I remember that I bought some Swiss knives to my partner like years ago, a long time, like 5, 7 years ago, 8 years ago or more. And he lost 2 of the Swiss knife.
Mm.
And after so many years, I decided to buy my own one. And so I can see that my gremlin is activating like this. Like, how come I need to have something? I need to have this. I need to prove that I'm strong enough. And also I choose from my child ego state. Yeah, I think this is connected to the proving, or to be recognized as something special, someone that is special, like to have extraordinary tools in my suitcase. So like my child ego state likes to be special, to be recognized. Wow, she has something different. I would never think about that, about this person. And yeah, I like my child ego state likes to surprise people too. Mm. Mm. Parent ego state. There are some shoots of, yeah, you should be like, for example, a possibilitator has this, so you should be a possibilitator with so many 13 tools, and then you cannot forget all these tools that you have, and like there's this, you need to follow these rules of having tools with you. So the possibility stone and my talisman and my Swiss knife, and so I'm like, so then I'm proving that, yeah, it's also proving, yeah, it's incredible. Many of these choices comes the proof that needs to prove something attached to my choices. Yeah, I want to also write down this, the proving attached to the choices.
Yes. So if you do this, I can write the next message.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that's it. Talking from my feelings.
Yes, thank you. Okay, then you can switch to the next question. What do you feel about that choice? Speak about your 4 feelings.
Yeah. Ah. Mm. Yeah, I feel sad and fear right now. It's some waves of sadness and fear. I feel sad because I miss so much my childhood, where I was a lot in nature and with no necessity of time to see, to check time. I feel sad because I feel sad because I miss being nature, being adventure with other people, when like cutting bamboos and creating things with the knife, with bamboos in the place that I grew up with my cousins and with my friends. I feel sad because somehow there's some decisions I made that it cannot happen again in my life, this adventure moment. Yeah. I feel fear. Yeah. I feel fear of losing this. Yeah, because I have already some stories with this. And I create some attachment with like this. I want to keep it. I cannot, like, this is very important for me. I feel angry also that I feel angry. I feel angry that I decided to buy this 2 years ago or 3 years ago. I don't remember exactly, but like for the first time I bought something for me. I remember to buy a knife to my brother when I went to a trip with the school. And I bought this knife, and I love this knife. I love to have the knife of my brother. I asked the person to write his name on it. And I used to use his knife many times. I used to ask him, can I use it? And it's incredible. I feel angry. Yeah, I feel angry that I associate these dangerous tools only to men. Like only men can hold dangerous tools. Only men can be dangerous. And I really keep this story in my head. I cannot be dangerous, cannot have this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel joy that now I'm shifting this story in my I just feel completely like feel joy that I have a knife right now, that I don't need to ask a man to have a knife.
Yes. Really interesting. You can really learn about yourself a lot by choosing a thing. And that's so great. Okay.
Thank you. Hello, Maren, Erica. You're all muted, and yeah. The Sabine's Zoom chose to have everybody muted.
Yeah, so the Zoom has the responsibility for that, not me.
You choose it.
To make that clear.
How was
Yeah,
the
welcome back.
experiment?
I just shared with Leonard that he was my mirror, because we have almost have the similar topics about the ego states and the feelings in this experience. And it was like when I started, and then Leonard was next, and it was like he's just repeating that what I was saying before. It was like I could feel with him. It was so yes, for me a good connection with this experiment.
Mm-hmm.
And the main topic was that we both made a very fast decision. Yes. And then all the ego states went through this. Yes. Child and parent and gremlin. And in the end, we just said, why don't we just take our time for making a decision? Why do we just make this fast decision? Because there's fear, especially in our child ego state, making the wrong decision or not. For me, it was also fear that I make too many circumstances for this space in this work talk. I don't want to make enough so many circumstances, so I don't stand up and take my time. I just do it as fast as I can, that I don't make any circumstances. This was one of the main topics in this question at the beginning, and the fear what was in that. And then we had also the points of making a wrong or right decision, and so it was also a good to cope with all these states. Really interesting. And in the end, it was like a play in the theater. All the ego states standing in the theater on the stage and having their parts in this game.
Yeah. Yeah, but what I hear, and also it was also our experience. So we got a lot information about us as person with this choosing a thing. So it was quite, so there were more and a lot of informations we get from ourselves. Yeah, that's really an interesting experiment. Thank you for sharing, Erika.
Yeah, thank you. I noticed that this experiment I have not done so often, especially not when I have not done it without using my mind so much and analyzing what it is. So this is more challenging for me when I really go with the feelings and energetical imprint of these ego states. I notice it explains a lot why I doubt on on these important things, like what is the purpose, because I really like not so this clear reference like in all my 5 bodies what it is. It's more in my mental body, and especially the adult ego state is for me the hardest to grab. There's really like, it seems like the child ego state and parent is in the Kremlin. I can like extract its parts. And when I go to the adult ego state, there's always a contamination at the same time happening. It's not pure. It's like I don't have this reference inside of me what is really the pure adult ego state. So it's logical that I somehow distrust or start doubting myself all the time, because it's like feels so
Mm-hmm.
and yeah.
Yeah, what I noticed, Leonard, in my experiments is that I want to do an emotional healing process about that, is that many of my choosings are attached to proving, like proving something. So yes, and I want to do an emotional healing process about that. Like I choose that to prove something. So in many ego states, the choices were coming from that purpose,
What does that mean in German, to prove?
Beweisen.
Ah, okay.
Beweisen?
Beweisen, okay, to prove. Yes, thank you.
To prove someone else to, and also I celebrate that I chose for many years something, and with this object I discovered that actually I changed my mind and I chose something else, and I'm just celebrating, and I could feel this pure joy of, like, I could see that there was a story that I couldn't choose that. So my object was a Swiss knife, and so for a long time I create a story that I couldn't choose to have a knife, like a woman couldn't have a knife, and I would borrow the knife that I gave as a gift to my brother. Many times I would ask him, and now I celebrate that I don't need to ask a man to have a knife. I just have a knife, and that's it. Like,
Yes. Yeah.
and I can see that there's this like how many, like from the old decision, I'm choosing things from that root of the old decision. So I could see this again happening. So I can choose coming from that old decision.
Mm-hmm.
So when I go to this root of this old decision, like women cannot have a knife, I take this out, and then I have space to choose something different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Makes sense.
I want to check also, Wout, what is going on with you? And you're muted, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering the same. I'm tracking something that feels like an emotional anger, and what I'm thinking about it is that it's about owning my anger about what I want, so that can help me make my choice. Yet I don't really allow my anger to inform me or to be there for me to make the choice. So yeah, the story I have is that now it's coming up because it wants to be part of my decision process, something like this. And it feels scary for me to go in there. Like even now talking with you, I'm going in and out because I still have some idea that this anger is not, that it's too dangerous or it's not okay, especially in a space with women and all these stories about it. So it feels like a little shadow anger, something-ish. That's what I got. And I don't know. That's so I'm also I don't know. So I'm just tracking it and seeing what it has. Yeah.
And my question is, do you get the difference between the emotional anger and the feeling of anger? So can you really sense in which quality of anger you are in the moment?
Yeah, it feels emotional.
Mm.
And it feels so here. Like a part of me doesn't want to say like, oh, that's for later, because it feels like it's coming up now. So I'm like, okay, so why are you coming up now? So yeah, I'm just yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, do you feel this anger when you need to choose something, when you want to choose something? This emotional anger?
That's the thing. I don't think I do, and I think I'm invited to start doing that because
Mm.
it because that's why it's an emotion now, sort of. Do you get it?
Yes.
Yeah. It's the anger that I didn't yet feel about the decisions that I wanted to make, so, something like that. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And then there's sadness also about that. Is the layer underneath the sadness that I didn't do those things. Ugh. And I'm so scared to go there here in this group. I'm really so scared. Part of me wants to run and hide, and yeah. Also tender, yeah. Ah. Hmm.
Yeah, so you can take this as your X on the map, and you can choose to stay here and to take this as an insight with you
Hmm.
and to look at this in another space.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, Wout.
Yes.
Yeah.
You wrote.
Thank you, Walt. Yeah.
So I have I have a look on the time, and we have 15 minutes left, and there are two experiments, so we don't have the time for both of them. And my assumption is that, Marina, the experiment 3 would be too long. And also the experiment number 4 we have is a good, I would say is a good closer.
Mhm. Mhm.
So my proposal is that we continue with experiment number 4, and maybe then if we take 10 minutes for this, we have 5 minutes left to do our summary or to bring the things together. What
Yeah.
do you think?
Yeah, I agree. Maybe we can do the second round of this work talk about choosing.
Yes, so
Could be a
because experiment 3 is really, really good, so we have to do it in another space. It's a kind of cliffhanger, you know?
We can create also a dojo or something like that after that. Dojo
Yeah,
for the
so there are many
Yeah.
possibilities.
The choosing dojo.
Okay.
Yes,
Nice.
Yeah,
great. So
yeah. I would, yeah, the experiment 4, it's a disclosure because it's something about something that Wout brought at the beginning. Like you have these big choices to make. So there's this, you can have the like, oh, I have to choose this, like, wow, these big choices. If I stay here or go to somewhere else, or if I stay with this person, or if I quit the job, there's these big decisions. And the experiments for this closer moment is to, after this work talk, choose to keep your word, and then going to this small choosing moments. So and then experiment how to hold the power of choosing when you decide to make the choice. So now we have some minutes to write down 5 things that you want to, like, you choose an agreement that you have to do. So you choose to for example, fix a door of your house, or write an article, or meet someone in a certain place, or take something that you like, give the money that you need to give money to the person, or it could be many things. These small choices, and then you write down the things that you want, like a list of 5 or more if you want, or less, and then we will pick one to do in this week. And also
help. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, and also you can see what in this list, you can check what are the choices that you are avoiding right now to take it. So because when you're avoiding, it's already a choice. And also, if you are avoiding, it's because you are avoiding also to feel. Because when you are avoiding, you're avoiding to feel the pain of the consequences of every single choice that you take. So when you choose from this, like now, from after this experiment, when you have this other ego states choosing something, it's really hard to hold the power of the power of choosing, because it comes from like, for myself, I see that I need to prove, so it comes from something I need to hold, and it's a performance, it's fake, so it can crumble. But if you go from your being, choosing it's just this part of you that you can hold the power of this choice. Yeah.
Are there any questions?
You mean the choices I am avoiding? Did I hear it? Vermeiden, yes, avoiding. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
What choices are you avoiding to choose now? That could be a good hint. Or
okay. So the choices I love to do are not a good hint.
So you have the choice.
Okay. Thank you. So go.
Go. Mm. If you want, you can choose to share what you commit, like to keep your word and do what you are avoiding to do.
I commit to share vulnerable with Brian, one man that comes on Friday to the space, why I want to share my room with him and why I don't want to share my room with him, and invite him to experiments of living together in this small room.
And when are you doing that, Leonard?
I'm doing this on either Friday or Saturday. Like when he's arriving on Friday, I will sense into it if it's the right space for doing that when he's on arrival. So I will check on that but I will do it within 1 week.
Okay. Yes.
I hear you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. So
For me, it is
Go.
Like vice versa, that I often make decisions and I am under pressure with them. And for me, it is important that I take my time. My commitment is that I want to, I have a new working space in my apartment, and I want to make einrichten. I want to, do you know in English what is
area?
Yes, I want to arrange the furniture, and I want to find out how I want to create my working space, because I have a new room for it, and I don't want to be under pressure. I just want to take my time and just lay on the floor and just look and feel in this room and just take my time. And it doesn't have to be ready on Saturday. I'm just feeling sad about it. I can also have it ready in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. It is not that important that it is ready tomorrow. So this is for me a commitment that I take my time with my decision.
Yeah, to do it in your own pace. Yeah.
Yes.
And it seems
Without
that
pressure.
you're choosing to have your own time to choose, Erica.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. You're not choosing for others. At the beginning of the work talk, you brought that. And now you are saying that you're choosing with you're choosing to choose in your way. In your
Yes,
rhythm.
to choose my way and take the time I need for choosing. Yes.
Yes.
Go.
Yes, go, Erica.
Thank you.
I choose to find in 2 weeks. I'm putting this in 2 weeks. I'm choosing to look for and find a place, a training space here in Bologna. I want to start. Yeah, I want to have a training space here, and I choose to put this priority because I'm keep avoiding this choice. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we have 3 minutes left. How to use this space? How to use this time? Do you want to share something? Do you choose to share something?
Yes, I noticed like this when I do these fast decisions, like Erica also said that you have this, Erica. And it's like when I'm not clear when I'm only clear in my mind what are the ego states, then they have like the grip on the decisions when I decide fast. It needs me to really be with my heart and with my energetical body also sensing that I can have really the power to choose something else. But the choice that I made was mainly like about my child ego state and my gremlin state and my parent ego state. They made the decision for me, and I was really afraid that whenever I make a small decision like this, that I don't have the choice of choosing from my adult ego state, for example.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that there is a basic practice in the international, I think in the EHP apprentices, they could ask for such a space. I think there's a basic training space for this. Could have the idea to reach out to people to train this.
Yes.
Leonard, could you send me a message about that? I didn't see anything about it. Is that about this practice?
I check if it's like that, and I send you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I choose to do the EHP about this choosing with anger, and yeah, to create there more clarity what's going on. And I choose to give myself also more time to decide about the choice. So, and the choice is that I give myself as much time as it needs until I have a clear yes for the next step, rather than trying to do it as fast as possible and then creating all this pressure. So I try something else. And for now, I give myself to make it rational. I give it a full week to make this next decision. And if needed, I can extend. Yes.
Okay.
Yay.
Wow. Yes.
Thank you. So Maren is leaving. It's time. It's yeah, 7:30 for us. So I want to say thank you for this rich space and what you brought in, and that you kind of deep dive with us. And yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you for being on my team. Thank you, everyone, for bringing all this gold. Yeah, I feel joy about these golds.
Yeah, thank you for creating this space, and keep me informed when the next space is happening. I want to keep being on your teams.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye bye
Closed.
all. Yes.
Bye.
Ciao.
Ciao,
you.
ciao.
So
Do it. Oh. Yes, Sabine, thank you for this space.
yeah, thank you too. And I had the idea to stop the recording so